Greetings, good morning, grand rising to everyone. Thank you for being here. Hi, let's come on in, come on in. So, I know I'm kind of impromptu when I go live. I go when the spirit moves me, when I have something to say, and when I have time, right? So, if your notifications are not on all, then please put them on all. That way you can get notified when I go live, and then you won't miss, in order to have to do the replay. But it's okay if you got to do the replay. It's all good either way. Just grand rising. Greetings to everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning, a great and strong start to your morning. I claim and I pray that everybody woke up with peace in their hearts, woke up with clarity, with a plan, with an itinerary that includes treating yourself sometime throughout the course of the day, treating someone else, being kind, showing gestures of love, of sweetness. I have to remind myself of the same things that I'm reiterating to you, right? And so I'm grateful. I woke up, I was appreciative and grateful. Going through some health scares in my life has made me extremely, extremely grateful and humble. Every day that I do wake up and I'm not in pain, or there's no threat to my mortality that is before me, that I'm aware of, right? Small things like that mean so much, because we tend to take those things for granted a lot, especially if you tend to be a person that is generally healthy and not stricken with illness, whether it's through your family, whether it's just kind of how you were, the cards you were dealt, maybe some of the decisions that we make about eating, drinking, getting enough rest, enough sustenance, trying to live as much of a stress-free life as possible. These things definitely play a part when it comes to our whole well-being as a whole, from the inside out as well as the outside in. So I don't know, these are just some things that are, I wanted to kind of start the stream off with, and if at the very least maybe serve as a reminder that nothing is owed to us, nothing, no one owes anything to us, including our higher power, right? The most that we can actually hope for is owing ourselves something, being good to ourselves, which starts with being mindful of where we are when we wake up, the state of mind that we're in, the purity or impurity of our spirit. Because if your spirit is restless and it starts out that way and it's not addressed, it kind of depicts the tone and the direction that your day can pretty much go. You can pretty much bank that it's going to go in. So these things we have to be really, really careful about and mindful about. So greetings to, hey, just saying, peace and blessings to you. We got Melanie Scott in the house. Grand rising, Kelvin H. Grand rising to you as well. Miss Chicago, hey, good morning. Peace and blessings to you. She says, put it like this: the armor of the Lord is in overdrive. He's doing overtime, and the evil one is not giving up, but neither am I. Boy, what a great start. How articulately put, how powerful, and very true. And very true. I say so myself. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you. And it leads into a topic of discussion that has been on my heart for the past few days, that I wanted to kind of do it early. My son said, "Ma, you doing a live early?" And I'm like, "Yeah, because I think this is the best time to do it, to help set. Maybe I can make a difference in the beginning of someone's day." Contrary to some of the activities and the content creators in our sector that, they wake up and they get their day, and we all do. So at times get our days jump started with with excitement or entertainment, right? For the words of choice. So the question and the title of the live is basically, where is your energy going? Where I know, like, I have moments where, or periods of time where I rise and I feel tired before my day even starts. It even begins. I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get through the day when I'm waking up and I feel like I'm on E? I feel like I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm not where I need to be for what the requirements of this day is going to demand of me, and especially do it with a good attitude or in the right spirit, because energy is transferable. Energy transcends, energy evolves, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And we're living in some really, really questionable times where, if you're paying attention and really close attention to yourself, and your being, you're going to realize that that's a very delicate area and a very delicate position. And it can be swayed at a moment's notice, because the wars and the weapons of this world that we are living in currently are spiritual. And it works through the spirit, within the spirit, from the spirit, and it transcends outward through our words, through our expressions, through our mannerisms, through our physical being, right? And so sometimes we have to remind ourselves how powerful energy is. And it's so easy to think of it from a limited carnal point of view, where we're just flesh and bones. We're not. We're actually over 75% of our bodies are comprised of energy, right? I may be a little off on that, but I know it's super high. So with that being said, because energy is not able to be seen with the naked eye, but it is felt, it is sensed, then it can be easily pushed back into the subconscious, and we're not really paying close attention to it. But it's super powerful, and we should be paying attention to it, because it will let you know a lot of times. Like, I use the word discernment, right? Discernment comes from energy. Now, we can rename that, we can allocate different types of titles to it, but at the end of the day, it pretty much means all the same, right? So with I choose to use the word discernment. For me, it is energetic, it is messages, and it's information and data being transferred to you, from you, through you, to within you. These are all just my opinions based off of my experience, my education, and my analysis of what I feel and how important I feel energy is. So good morning, Joy. Hi, it's good to see you. 2 equals 1. Yes, thank y'all for being here. So I'm going to get right off into it. This is basically just some information that I just felt the need to kind of reiterate again, or share, or maybe it's your first time hearing some things, that you can put into your own perspective and draw your own conclusions and apply or not to your own particular life situations and activities throughout each day, every day, that may overall improve the quality of your day. Like I do. We're all in the same boat, right? We're all equal in that regard. So, the first thing I want to say when it comes to energy is how energy goes where intentions flow. So I use the word intentional a lot because it's the process of making a decision, consciously making a decision and following through on that decision with activity, right? And so when you're talking about energy, we don't have control over a lot, but we do have control over some things and some powerful things when it comes to individual and self. So when we're speaking of energy, you ultimately have control over whether your energy is being siphoned from you, you're being drained, intentionally from another person or unintentionally, because you could just be around, you could be a positive person and then you'll get around negative people. And then when you leave their midst, you're exhausted. You need a nap. You don't even feel like driving home. Now your demeanor has dropped. Your energy level has just gone from, and your mindset has gone from here to here. And so there are times, if you're not paying attention or if you're not aware of what actually shifts your energy and what kind of environment shifted, then you're not going to know what happened. You're not going to be able to provide us a personal solution, to be able to change it or adjust so that does not happen, at least on a regular basis, right? And so when you're intentional about your energy, it flows. Where energy goes, intention flows. So energy is constant. Your flow and your intention will also be constant because energy is putting it all into motion, right? And I know I'm sounding repetitive, but that's important because you do have power and you have dominion and some level of control over where your energy goes, if your energy is being given or if it's being received. And it's based off of our decisions, the decisions of people that we're around, people that are around us, our environment, what we feed our eyes, ears, and brain on a day-to-day basis. And that's going to determine how much time you spend on certain things and how it depicts how your energy flows, what the ultimate outcome is. If you're watching negativity all day, every day, let me rephrase that. If we are watching negativity all day, every day, then our there's a word I'm looking for, it's going to come to me, but our spirits and our energies will suffer. They will decrease. Your level of positivity, your level of physical energy, as well as mental and psychological energy, will also decrease. These things will be affected. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care what you've been through. What you feed yourself will grow, right? And so when you say, okay, I'm going to pay attention to somebody, and if they're sucking my energy or if I'm giving them my energy, there is a saying, paying attention, right? Because it's likened to a cash transaction, because it's costing you something. It's costing the other person something. So when you are transferring energy, it's a transaction. And when that phrase comes from you're paying attention, that's exactly what's going on. You're paying or you're buying, right? You're receiving and transferring, or you're giving. So I just want to give a strong preface as to what energy really is, how important it is, how powerful it is, and how we do have control over our energy. And we are responsible for our energy. And because it's so easily transferable, it can be costly. And I'm going to use as an example as a parent. If I'm working, like say I go to a 9 to 5 and I'm working in a super negative environment, and it just, by the time I'm come home, I'm grumpy, unknowingly taking my frustrations of my day out on my family, that's transferring energy. In turn, my kids may go to school if I didn't get a good night's rest as a result of the stresses of my job. I get up, I'm preparing my children for school, and I'm grumpy out the box. Then guess what? My kids, more than likely, it's going to help set the negative tone for their day. What do you think is going to happen? These children are going to go to school and they're going to transfer that energy to their peers or to their teachers or whoever they're in the midst of. Think about the people on the receiving end of your children's negative energy it started with you, right? And by the time the end of the school day has come about, it can affect almost everyone in the environment. Okay, so using that as an example to show just how fluid and how powerful energy is. And we are responsible for our own energy. We are the source of our energy. Now, I want to touch on one of the things that I've been saying, and this is going to apply to, or can, because it can apply to anything, but it can apply to the sector that we're in of YouTube, right? And one of the things that I have always said and believed in, but it's not profitable it's not monetarily profitable. It's not profitable when it comes to viewership and subscriptions. Getting the numbers as a content creator is ignoring and basically not giving or being willing to transfer that energy back and forth to someone that feeds off of the negative energy, right? So a lot of times we feel like, as people in general, that we have to defend ourselves, that we have to defend our name, that we have to defend who we are, that we have to, go to war basically because this person said this or this person said that, or this person is doxing another person, right? Or providing personal information that is incorrect or correct, but we feel offended in some way. And so I know it is not the more popular approach, but I'm a firm believer in ignoring things that don't serve you. If you don't have control over it, then why give it your energy? Why give it your time? Guess what? No response is a response. And that's what I think a lot of people really don't kind of, grasp, or like I said, maybe it doesn't benefit them more in the short run than it does in the long run. And us living in a time or a culture where immediate gratification is king, a lot of times we don't even think that far ahead. That's when I'm glad that I have some foresight. Am I perfect? By no means. But I do have some foresight and the ability to say and pick my battles, as my dad used to always say to me, baby girl, you got to pick your battles. You can't fight everybody all the time. You ain't going to make it, right? And that's very true. Now, being young, I thought differently. I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But right now I got that energy, and that's what I'm getting ready to utilize. That's what I'm getting ready to put forth. And then I deal with all the other stuff later. But there comes a time and a season in your life where, you're going to become exhausted. You're going to become fatigued, especially when you're trying to control things that you have no control over. So when we pick our battles, we're yielding a particular outcome. We're yielding a certain outcome, right? And when you don't get that outcome, after a while, common sense is going to kick in, or not, but just for the sake of argument, it should kick in. And you should say, okay, well, yeah, this ain't working for me, so I need to try a different approach, right? So when it comes to, different environments and different situations, it's okay to pause. It's actually recommended to pause before you respond, because if you respond through emotion and off the cuff, the results and the outcome usually is you're going to regret something about that process, right? As opposed to just saying, okay, let me just think this through for a minute. Let me calm myself down. Let me go meditate. Let me go take a walk outside. Let me listen to some high vibrational music. Let me just sit and do nothing. So my higher power and sources higher than me can actually communicate with me and impart some better information than me just responding off of emotion, right? So, hey, Miss Yo, thank you. Hey, thanks for being here. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Okay, so Miss Chicago says, quick question. Is it worse when we don't have energy at all? Or is it when people drain the energy out of you, or when we voluntarily give our energy to undeserving people instead of protecting it? Is it worse when we don't have energy at all? So that's one part. That's the first part of the question. Or is it when people drain the energy out of you, or when we voluntarily give our energy to undeserving people instead of protecting it? That's a couple-fold question. The way I'm perceiving it, I could be wrong. So we always have energy, in my opinion. We always have energy. It may be low, but when we cease to exist is when our energy has transferred to another vessel, in my opinion, right? Or in my experience of education, and just looking at the process of being alive and being unalive, right? So when it comes to people draining the energy out of you, again, that's a choice. So you're going to notice it. If you go around a certain individual or a certain group of people and you always leave drained, then it's up to you to change your environment. And no is a very powerful word, right? That a lot of people don't like to say, because it yields sometimes conflict, pushback, etc., and so forth. But you are the one that has control over that decision. And if you are giving your energy to undeserving people, then you can change that. That is a decision that you can make once you recognize that that's what's going on. And that's the process to say, I'm not doing this anymore. Or I love you, but I have to love you from a distance. Or I appreciate what you're trying to bring to this relationship, but unfortunately, at the season that I'm in, or at the point that I'm at in my life, it just is not beneficial to me. So if it's not beneficial to me, then guess what? It's not going to be beneficial for those connected to me. And it follows into the last part of your question, where you're speaking of protecting your energy. That is, again, your responsibility. It's a process. You have to first discover where you are with the energy, if it's feeding you or if it's depleting you. And then you have to make decisions in order to protect the energy that you are given. Now, one of the crucial things about energy is that you have to revitalize and rejuvenate yourself. You have to find out what is it that raises your vibration, that provides you with energy to be positive, to make good decisions, to have enough energy and positive energy to absolutely transfer to those in your midst that you choose to be in your midst, right? And so it's a deep conversation, but there's power in energy. Now you have some people that are able to separate for a time, but we're human or we should be human at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we have to be truthful with ourselves and honest with ourselves. And notice something, when I talk and when I speak, it all goes back to self. It all goes back to me. It all goes back to you. That's the only thing you have any type of dominion or control over. You don't have the ability to control that somebody else around you is negative. The only ability that you have to control is to say, you know what, this doesn't serve me, and no disrespect, but I must depart. I must go a separate way. My life is not taking me in this direction to be able to accommodate. That's where I feel like that saying that people that are in your life for a reason, season, or a lifetime, which very, very, very few people, if any, because we're not buried together. We don't all pass away together, right? And so, or transcend. Hey, Damn D, good morning. Oh, salute to you. Yes, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And so when it comes to us being in control of our energy, we have to be bold, brave, and assertive enough to protect it, because it's not going to be the popular consensus for people that want to feed and want to take your energy from you to serve it for their personal purposes, right? It's not going to be a popular thing all the time. And so you have to stand in it, and you have to want it. You have to want that high vibration, that strong energy, that positive attitude, that peace that you will have to fight for. I often say that I will go to war for my peace. I know what it took for me to get my peace. I know how long it took for me to get to a certain level of peace. And I know what I had to sacrifice. And one of the biggest things that I had to sacrifice was my time, because I wish that I would have gotten it a lot younger and sooner than I did. I don't cry over spilt milk. However, I realize I feel the loss of that time. And so I value the time that I have with it and what I had to do to get it. And I'm not just releasing it because you say so. I'm not releasing it because you're not happy with where you are in your life. One thing about me is I have always focused enough on myself to where I don't have a jealous spirit. I don't have a jealous heart. I don't care about what other people are doing, what they got going on, counting pockets, feeling envy because I feel like whatever that person has or wherever they are in their journey I should be there, or that should apply to me. I'm so grateful for that, because everybody that I see that has those spirits are miserable. They are miserable, but those are also the same type of individuals that will come and they will drain you dry, leave you dry, won't care how or what kind of position they left you in, and go on about their business to find their next victim. And so when it comes to me, peace and energy are in a lot of ways synonymous, right? So with that being said, we were talking about, for those that are just coming into the stream, welcome. Appreciate y'all being here. Hey, Derry, thank you for being here. We got Eric McDonald in the building. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for taking out time of your Saturday morning and of your weekend to stop through, right? Now, I was discussing and talking about negativity and no answer being an answer, no response being a response, that we don't have to, because that is a transfer of energy. Now, some people have the threshold to be able to go back and forth with people and still maintain a certain level of decorum and peace, right, with their own particular lives. But a majority, in my opinion, are not cut out from that kind of cloth. It's not the norm, in my opinion, whether people think so or not of themselves. It just doesn't go together, not for long term. If you're serving a purpose and God gifted you with those gifts, and that being one of them, then that is what that is. But just as the norm, as our genetic makeups, we're not created like that. That's why energy is super powerful, right? Let's go to Miss Yo. She says, surrounding yourself with people that are vibrating on a positive and upbeat spirit will keep you vibrating on your highest level. And that is, again, intentional. You have to be intentional about that, because there are so many people around you that are not vibrating at their highest level. They don't care to. They don't want to see you do it. And there are a lot of people that will infiltrate your space. They will lie to you. They will manipulate you just to get close to you, if for no other reason. When they walk away, their objective and their goal is to see you feeling like they feel, to see you depleted of your good energy, so they can turn around and talk about you and feel better about themselves, even if it's just for a moment, right? So yes, thanks everybody for tapping that like button, coming on in. I'm not paying that personally any attention, but thank you to my mods and thank you to my chat for engaging. Yes, I appreciate y'all so much. So let's kind of pivot a little bit and move on to another topic, because this is we could go on and on about this, but there were just some things that stood out to me that I thought would be worthy for the conversation to discuss, right? Now, one of the things that I'm big about is creating boundaries. You have to have boundaries. I don't care what your level of energy is. You have to be willing and stand on the ability to be able to say or show or demonstrate, even if you're not maybe you're passive aggressive, maybe you're non-confrontational, and you kind of know where this is going. And so you just say, I'm just going to ease myself up on out of here gracefully and move around. That's absolutely okay. That's fine, because again, no response is a response. You don't have to be combative. You don't have to be confrontational in order to get a message across. It's called grace. It's called subtlety. It's called, you know what? I'm not here to cause no trouble, but I'm also not here to give you my peace. I'm not here to compromise my level of energy, right? Now, I used to have this, when I think I was like in my 30s, maybe my late 20s. I remember at that point in my life, and I've gone through this quite a few times, I fluctuate. I was vegan. I was working out like 6 days a week. I had my one son. He was young, my oldest. He was young at the time. And I was just at a really, really good place, just emotionally, all of that. I remember that period very well. And I remember walking into a mall one time, and this lady stopped me, and she said, what's your favorite color? I said, purple. She said, why? I said, because it's a spiritual color, and to me, it's a high vibrational color. And she said, well, that's funny you say that, because when I saw you walking down the hallway, your aura is a bright, dark, it was like a bright hue with a dark color purple. And she said, whatever you're doing, you keep doing it because you're chosen. And that shook me, because I know this woman from a hole in the wall. And I was like, I don't know what's going on, but okay. And I thought maybe she was a little, special. And then about a month later, back then we had cabs, right? And I was going to get my car out the shop or something, but I had to take a cab. And I get in the back of the cab, and this man was quiet the whole ride until I went to go get out. And, I wasn't striking no conversation with no strange man especially at that time. I was like, and I'm in your car too. I need you to concentrate on the road. Okay, but, I digress. I went to go get out the car, and he said, I know a lot of people talk about you being beautiful. He said, but it's something about your spirit. And he said, and I see colors around you. He said, you are a spiritual person. Now, during that time, I wasn't really into the church per se, but I've always considered myself a spiritual person. And so I always kind of gravitated to people with high vibration and high energy. And if I found them and they were consistent, I still have a lot of those people in my life today, 20, 30, 40 years later, right? And God has been so good to me in many regards. But in that regard, I'm extremely grateful, and it's been very telling about my journey, right? And so I wanted to give those examples because I remember that time, and I've had times, but when you age, you go through things, your life changes, your environment changes, your situations change, your mindsets change, those things mold you into developing and to evolving constantly. And that's why people, they're always changing. Nobody's going to be the same in their 30s or 40s that they were in their teens, or in their 50s that they were in their 30s. But I say that to say that during that time, I just remember being in such a good place and not really realizing or being cognizant at that particular juncture of my life. I was also very, very intentional and very protective over who was around me, who I let in my midst. I was unapologetic. I was like, I'm focused, I'm on purpose. I got vision. I know where I'm going. I know where my aim is, and you can't go. God sent you. And it may not be for a long period of time, but I know when God sends somebody my way. So this is this is how I'm going to do this. This is where we're going with this. So I was very protective and very intentional about my company, about my surroundings, and I was unapologetic about it. So I know I gave that as a long example, but I wanted to be thorough in the message of creating boundaries and how important having boundaries is, because we don't know most of the people that we encounter, and the people that are in our tribes, are in our families, even our children. They're always evolving. They're always changing. Everybody is always going through trying to figure out their particular journeys. And there's a lot of people that will drain your energy dry and not even be aware that that's what they're doing, because that's all they know. But that's, again, you don't have any control over that. The only thing you can do is identify it and address it, and make sure that you making decisions in order for it not to transfer. Because I'm going to tell you, energy is not always, if it's easier to, in my opinion, to maintain than it is to gain, right? So in order to raise your vibration, it takes work. For me, I'm going to say for me, if it doesn't take work for you, maybe that's one of God's gifts that he's imparted upon you. But as far as me, it has taken work for me to and it does take, because it's a laborious task and job that is forever going on and evolving, because you're always around other people and other sources that are designed to drain your energy. Exactly, Derry. Narcissistic behavior. And we're living actually in a narcissistic environment and in our surroundings. People are taught to think of self before to think of anyone else. And I think it's been a lot more detrimental than helpful when it comes to us, right? Hey, is that hold on, I thought I saw. Hey, Kevin Ellis, thank you for coming. Yes, thank you for being here. I see you, Miss. I thought I saw Miss 504. Peace and blessings to you. I'm glad that you're here. Okay, you getting ready for work? Well, I impart to you great energy that you're going to have a wonderful day at work, that you're going to have great people that you interact with, that they're going to bring something and add something to you, your environment and your being, and then you'll be able to transfer that same stuff to other people. So thank you for being here. And that's from Miss Akemi. Yes, yes. Okay, so let's go on to the next point. I think we touched on no being a powerful word, so I'm not going to belabor that point too much more. I do want to speak on energy being contagious, good or bad. It is contagious. I had to check, and a lot of my references, I can only speak for me because that resonates with me. I can't speak on other people's energy. They have to speak on it themselves. So I can only speak of me. So if I'm referencing myself, it's not because of narcissism or anything like that. It's just that's the only authentic place that I can really speak my truth from, is talking about me and my personal experiences, right? And so I remember I went through a really big health challenge, and I was mad. I was mad. I was mad at the world. I was mad at God. I was mad at myself. I was just mad, right? I was just not in a happy place. And I had children. And I would get up grumpy. I would get up disconcerted. Nothing. I just made up my mind most mornings for a period of time that I was going to get up, and I didn't care about nobody, even myself at the time, because I felt at that period, I felt defeated. I felt angry. I felt scared. All of those things, all of those low vibrational emotions and feelings, and they fed off of one another, and it just kept me in a hole until I decided and made the decision and realized that that was going to take me out before my health issue was going to take me out. And it was going to facilitate it and accelerate my illness if I did not get that under control. And once I realized that, like I said a few minutes ago, I had to, it was work. It was work for me to do that because my situation didn't change overnight. And so, but I knew I had to do something about my mindset, and I had to do something about me. And I would get up in the mornings, and my kids would look me in the face, and they fed off of my energy. So if I woke up and I didn't feel good about I didn't feel good about waking up, none of that, I would just see my kids' countenance drop. And it would break my heart over and over again. And they were my motivation for me turning myself around, and gave me the will to fight, the will to live, and to do it with a grateful attitude. But I realized how impressionable and how powerful my energy was, right? And I'm being transparent here because that fueled me to the point where I don't get up like that no more. I don't care what kind of night, day I had. I don't care what I went through, what I'm going through. Those battles that I can't fight on my own, I give them to God, and I count my blessings, and I keep it pushing. And that made me emotional because I love our babies. I love my babies. I know one's almost grown, the other one's been grown. And I don't treat them like babies, but they mama's babies, period. Um, you know, that's how serious and how short of a window we have in order to make an impression or to be impressionable upon those we say we love. And we have to realize that energy is contagious, that it is so easily transferable. And we are ultimately responsible for our energy. And we are held accountable for that. Even if it's not immediate, karma comes back. It's circular. It regenerates and it revisits you, right? So with that, I just wanted to touch on that point. And I want to transfer and kind of pivot a little bit to the energy of anger, right? Because I just touched on how angry and how it affected my countenance, how it affected my attitude, how I interacted with people, how I carried out my day, my night. It depicted how I moved during that day. Anger controlled me to an extent. And so that's my point. My point is that anger is an appropriate emotion at an appropriate time to fuel us to do things that other emotions cannot propel us to do. But because we are not properly usually taught how to control it or to manifest outcomes as a result of it, we're so inclined to just hurt people because we're hurt people, right? As we always hear. And so with that being said, anger will control you into making decisions that are not to the benefit, but to the detriment of you and the people around you. That is an energy. Now, we can argue and say that that's a very low vibrational energy. I think, again, it's appropriate for certain amounts and periods of time in certain circumstances, because if not, then we would not be feeling anger. It would not be something we can identify with. So because we were given the ability to be angry, then it really depends on how we express and control that anger and just basically express ourselves through anger, right? And so when you're dealing with that, you got to realize that whatever made you angry is controlling you. It's controlling you. It's not just controlling you, it's controlling the outcome. It's controlling your decisions, your path, what moves you make, small or big, and it impacts everything around you. It spills off of you. And so I bring that up because, I'm looking at people around me crash out. They're crashing out. But as they're crashing and burning, they're trying to take everybody around them with them, especially those that seem to be vibrationally vibrating on a higher level than them. You're not going to, people that are angry and people that don't care about themselves or anybody around them is going to focus in on not people that look like them, act like them, and conduct themselves like them and lash out like them. They're going to focus on people that have higher vibrational energy aside from them. That's who they're going for. So I wanted to bring light to that, because the fact of the matter is that anger, it's an emotion that seems to be so easily ignited but hard to diffuse or to put out, right? And in the midst of that window, people are really making poor decisions. They're doing things that they ordinarily otherwise would not do. Excuse me, y'all, I need something to drink. Would not do. And so as a person that has high energy, you cannot take that personally. I know it's easier said than done, much easier said than done, because a lot of angry people hit below the belt. They go and they do things that they ordinarily would not do. But when you have an understanding and your understanding is a lot more clear, and you're more aware that it's not so much of about you as it is about them, then it kind of positions you, or should position you, in a fashion to where, okay, now I can pause. Remember I said that earlier, when you want to react to something off the cuff, the best thing to do is just be mindful and say, I'm going to sit, I'm going to pause, and then whatever it is that you do in order to ground yourself and to get back to that place where you're making decent decisions, or you're responding in ways that will not, hurt you or anybody else around you, especially intentionally, then it will put you in a better position to, both of y'all aren't crashing out, because now you responding. Silence is a response, y'all. I'm trying to, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you smaller. It doesn't make you scared. It doesn't make you a punk. It actually takes strength to use restraint, to exercise restraint and say, I'm going to pick this battle and I'm not going to fight this battle because it's not my fight. That person is going through some things, and I'm just gonna let them do what they do and let their higher power deal with them. If they exercise a higher power, and then we're gonna move on from that, right? And so all of these different things are intertwined, but we're talking about, for those that are just coming into the stream or trying to grasp what the concept is, basically reiterates the title is, where is your energy going? What are we doing with our energy? Where are we spending our time? Who are we giving it to? Are we being intentional and wise? And are we being particular about where our energy goes, or who is feeding us with their energy, right? Yes, ma'am. We must forgive them because they know not what they do. Perfectly said, Shirley. Yes, ma'am. All day. All day. We must forgive them because they know not what they do. And you know what? Even if you are, in my opinion, at a place of forgiveness, guess what? If you realize that it's not because of you, or it's not your issue, and they don't know no better, then why would you entertain a fool? And that's where I'm at with that. So Miss Joy says, I was angry for years, so glad I let go and let God. The Bible says that angry rest in the blossom of a fool. It's natural to get angry, but you have to quickly release the anger and let it go. The Bible says that angry rest in the blossom of a fool. Amen. Amen. Thank you for that. That just gave me so much peace. It really did. And I'm so glad that you were able to let it go. Let me tell you, it's freedom, isn't it, Miss Joy? It's freedom when you can walk around and not hold on. And it's a huge weight. It's a huge burden to carry. And it doesn't just weigh you down through the emotion. It weighs you down physically, psychologically, spiritually, depresses you, because you can't let anybody in when you're mad, and you can't let anything go when you're mad either. And you can't let go and let God, right? So that was beautiful. Thank you for my chat. I'm blessed with my chat. I appreciate y'all. So let's talk about real quickly here solutions or ways that we can actually, defend, protect, and not just those when it comes to self, but impart positive energy without draining yourself in the midst of doing so, right? So one of the things that I want to touch on, and the answers really aren't that complicated. They're pretty simple and they're pretty cut and dry. But one of the things that I always think of when I think of healing is being outside. Just going outside, or at least getting out of your mundane everyday environment, right? There was a time where I, especially when I created my office or whatnot, I love being in my office. And now it's like, okay, I enjoy the things that I do and I feel productive. But when it's all said and done, I incorporate going outside now. I have to. It disturbs my spirit if I don't. I feel like I'm missing something. Just like with some people that go from being obese or unhealthy to exercising, and now they're workout buffs and they have to go to the gym 6 days a week. And if they miss a day, they're beating themselves up. Now, I'm not that bad, but I will say it does affect me if I don't include that. I love when I watch Miss Yo's videos, and most of the time, especially early in the morning, every day, she has a ritual. And she goes outside when it's still dark and she's out there. And you wonder why she's always so upbeat and so high energy. And she always has so much wisdom to impart. So she's sharing that energy with people she don't even know. And she's not losing anything from doing so. There's a system for that. There's a reason for that. She has figured that out, right? And I'm taking a bit page out of her book when it comes to that. So shout out to Miss Yo in the place to be. Amen. Amen. So you can go hiking, get around bodies of water. If you live around water, I used to live in Florida. That's the one thing I miss about Florida is bodies of water, honey. Anytime something popped off in my life, I had more sand in my car than I did on the beach for a long time. That was my safe. My hair used to be beet red because I would be out in the sun, in the real sun. Okay, if you know, you know. And I got pictures. I'm going to find those pictures. My mom got so many pictures of me, I don't even know what half of them are. But my hair was beet red because I was outside way more than I was inside ever as a kid. I used to go to, when I couldn't go to the beach, and my mom, she would register me to those recreational centers, one by the house. They had a pool. I would be in that pool 6-7 hours from the time she dropped me off to the time she picked me up. I was in the water. I slept like a baby my whole childhood because during the day I was out. I was out doing it, right? But those things are healing. Interacting with nature, watching animals really grounds me because it reminds me we're an animal. We're just a human animal. And the behaviors and the systems are very similar. They're just the behaviors shift and they're different. But we have to be able doing yoga, Pilates, going to, even if that ain't your thing, go join a like a dance team. These little dance clubs that they have now where you can exercise. If you don't want to do the treadmill and you don't feel like doing the mundane tasks or what you think is mundane in the gym, then do something you like, but add exercise into it. Get out of your mundane environment. Pray or meditate. Start your day with that. If I don't start my day with that, it's off. And I have days where I don't start it with that because I feel so pressured when I get up, or I get up a little bit later than normal where I haven't allotted myself me time, me and God time. And my feet hit the ground and then I move. And then guess what? My day is off, or at least part of it is off until I recognize it. And then I pump my brakes and I say, nope, I gotta sit down for a minute. I gotta redo this thing, rethink it, right? And so there are different things that really we've gotten so far away from nature. We drive everywhere we go. I remember I had an older person tell me, I saw this older man walking with a walker one time, and he parked far. And I asked him, I said, how about a placard? I said, do you don't have the ability to be able to park closer to the buildings? Because I could tell he was independent. He was by himself. And I really had concern for his safety and his well-being. He just looked vulnerable to me. And he parked so far from the building. And he said, no, he said, I do that on purpose to get my exercise. He said, I don't want to park close to the building. So therefore, I don't want a handicap placard. And he doesn't know that I never forgot that. That man probably good and gone by now. But even when he was here, after he said it and walked to the building, probably never thought about it again. But it never left me, because something that small was profound to me. You know, if I was blessed to make it to that age, then that's what I would do. I remember being ill and I got a handicap placard and I hated using it. When I had decent days, I didn't. And so that's how much of an effect it had on me. But we have to get out of our normal environments. We have to stay active. We have to stay in touch and in tune with our higher powers. We have to do things that bring us peace and keep our vibrational levels high in our energy, high enough to where if we share it with somebody, it doesn't drain us. And I want to just say that if you are around someone or people or a group or in an environment, and I know sometimes we feel like we don't have a choice, but it should become a goal that even if you can't change that environment at that point, that you have to do things that yield peace during that process until you can do different and until you can do better, right? So, because at some point we have to stop making excuses. At the end of the day, we are the only ones that are responsible for our energy and our peace. We are responsible for that. I can't hold you responsible for that. I can't hold my family members responsible for that. I have to be responsible for that. That is on me, right? So, hey, Andre, peace and blessings to everybody coming in. I see you, Russell Red. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I don't know where y'all at, but I finally seeing some sun today, and I'm so grateful. Woo, child, because this week has been that rain. We all need the rain, but it was getting to be a bit much for me. It was like, okay, I need something other than what I'm getting right now. Because when I go outside, I don't want to have to go outside with an umbrella. I want to go outside and soak up some of that vitamin D, right? Let me see. Am I missing anybody? If I'm missing you and you're in the chat, I apologize. Thank you to my new subs. I appreciate y'all. I will be doing a cash giveaway once I reach my 500 goal to show appreciation for all of the support. Because without y'all, what am I doing? I be talking to myself. So I'm very grateful. I'm appreciative. And it humbles me and makes me feel good that something that I have to say, somebody's willing to listen or finds value in. And so definitely want to show some appreciation on that. And so I will be doing a giveaway at 500 and I'm approaching there. So hopefully it will be sooner than later. But as I think Miss Yo told me, she said, we just going to slow walk this thing. And that's what we doing. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. So listen, only a couple more topics and then I can go ahead and wrap this topic up unless somebody has anything that they want to say. I'm more than willing to drop the link. I have some time this morning. There is a saying that if it doesn't serve you, don't allow it in. Now, I know that sounds selfish, especially after having a conversation of talking about narcissism. But I don't view that as being narcissistic. I view that as being a form of protection. And again, as I said earlier, you don't have to be combative. You don't have to be confrontational. But it doesn't alleviate you from having the responsibility of protecting your peace. You're not exempt from that just because you can't control what goes on around you. You can control who you're around, how you move, who you surround yourself with, what you open your eye gates, your ear gates, and your brain waves to the information. What are you feeding yourself all day, every day? What are we feeding ourselves every day and all day? Is there a balance? Is there a point where I can click off the computer or click off social media or YouTube and be able to go outside without my phone, have a conversation with strangers or my people with eye contact without oscillating and going back between my phone or devices? And are we addicted? Can we balance these things out? Addictions are made to be broken, just so you know. That's not the worst word in the world. It is a word that brings attention. It is a word that brings for you to be able to notice and address it. It's something that I am just overindulging in to a point where it's not benefiting me at this time. That's to me what addiction means. It's just not beneficial. I'm doing too much of it. Okay, let me pump my brakes, reevaluate, and say, let me balance this thing back out. Okay, and you can do it in bite-sized pieces. That's what, like, if we just for conversation's sake, we'll deal with an alcoholic or a drug addict that goes to rehab. It's a gradual process. That's why it takes 30 days plus in order to go through their programs. Because if you go in there and you address the physical aspect of it, but you don't address the mindset, the spiritual, the psychological, the whole person in its totality, then most times they're going to relapse. And so that goes with anything. But you have to be able to be willing to admit it, to be able to hold yourself accountable, and to be humble enough to make the necessary adjustments. And it takes courage, because we do what's comfortable to us in a lot of cases and not necessarily what's good for us. And in order to make those adjustments, you have to be super aware. You have to constantly be in a situation where you're having a lot of reminders, and you have to be, again, that word, intentional about making adjustments and changes. So these things are viable, and you can treat yourself with love like you would want somebody else to treat you. Take it in the bite-sized pieces or in the gradual portion of the process that you can muster without it really kind of relapsing you or putting you in a situation where you're feeling hopeless and I can't do this. You can do it. You can do it. And it's necessary that you do it, because balance is the key. And one of the primary keys to maintaining high vibrational energy. But we have to be particular. We have to be willing to protect it. And we have to be willing to say no to those things that don't serve it. That's just where it is. If it sounds selfish, then it sounds selfish. I'll be selfish when it comes to my energy and my peace, unapologetically. That's where I'm at with it, with me, right? So let's see. Some people aren't even worthy to be in your presence. It's not a knock against anybody else. It's just that everybody ain't made for everybody. Just like you have the alphabet community, you have women that love women, you got men that love men. That ain't my cup of tea. And I'm okay with that. I'm not judging them. I'm just saying that that's not for me. Right? And if it's not for me, then I'm not going to surround myself in that type of an environment on a regular basis to where it becomes normal or natural to me, especially if it's not conducive to me, my lifestyle, my surroundings, and the people that I'm attached to, whoever I may influence, because we all influence somebody, right? So with that said, listen, because I love to laugh. And anybody that knows me knows that I love to laugh. And I want to pivot and actually go to a whole different vibrational level during this laugh, right? So I want to share a couple of videos. There's this content creator, and a lot of you may be very familiar with watching clips. He's phenomenal for shorts, and he started coming across my timeline, and from the first video I subscribed, and I've been hooked ever since. And anytime I am feeling some type of way about anything, or even if I'm not feeling some type of way about anything, guess what? I watch him anyway, and he cracks me up. On top of me being an animal lover, and then his sense of humor intertwining and speaking through animals, exercising his gift and bringing a lot of laughter and healing to people, I want to share him with you, right? So thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. I didn't put my banner up. It's okay. My Cash App is on the screen if you want to bless, but it's not mandatory. I don't have any expectations, so everything is a bonus, and I appreciate y'all. But let me go ahead and share this video. I'm gonna do a couple videos, so fair use. They're shorts, but I want to be able to bring some laughter because this is what I go through on a day-to-day basis, and these are some of the things that stimulate me and help me keep my energy high and remind me that we do live in a world where we can make decisions and choices, and I just choose to keep laughter into my repertoire of my 24-hour day. So hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Okay. I don't know how to.
Why not, Mom?
You don't need to go bark at the neighbors.
But if I can't bark at them, what am I good for?
I can't
They look
magnify
at me, can I
it,
bark at
y'all.
them?
No.
Huh?
No.
All right, I won't bark. But if they look at me the wrong way, I'm going to go roof up in here.
Let's watch
It's
that again.
bark time.
No.
Why?
No.
Why not, Mom?
You don't need to go bark at the neighbors.
But if I can't bark at them, what am I good for? If they look at me, can I bark at them?
No.
Huh?
No.
All right, I won't bark. But if they look at me the wrong way, I'm going to go roof up in here.
Okay, we gonna watch another one, y'all. He's endless.
What?
Tell
You
me.
can't have another bone.
Oh, so you not giving me a bone? Huh?
No, you should not.
Roof you, give me a bone.
No.
Whoa, you know if it wasn't for me, somebody would have broken this house a long time ago. As a matter of fact, this is animal cruelty. I'm gonna call dog 111. Give me your phone.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out
What?
how to get your butt up off this couch and give me my bone.
Let's watch that one more time.
What?
Tell me.
You can't have another bone.
Oh, so you not giving me a bone? Huh?
No, you should not.
Roof you, give me a bone.
No.
Whoa, you know if it wasn't for me, somebody would have broken this house a long time ago. As a matter of fact, this is animal cruelty. I'm gonna call dog 111. Give me your phone.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out
What?
how to get your butt up off this couch and give me my bone.
He said if it wasn't for me a long time, we'd have got robbed a long time ago. Y'all, okay, a couple
Go
more.
ahead, tell me all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who did it?
Your girlfriend, she won't let me run around the house and all she do is fuss at me all the time. Dog do this. Dog got a day. She told you she treated me good. No, she not. She lied, wrote a living house, bro. I ain't trying to tell on her, but I caught her on the phone talking to another boy, all lovey-dovey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got caught, now you upset. He ain't calling for that. I want to talk.
Go ahead, tell me all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who did it?
Your girlfriend, she won't let me run around the house and all she do is fuss at me all the time. Dog do this. Dog got a day. If she told you she treated me good. No, she not. She lied, wrote a live in our house, bro. And I ain't trying to tell on her, but I caught her on the phone talking to another boy, all lovey-dovey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Yeah. You got caught, now you upset.
Oh, y'all, my head hurt. Okay, I can't do no more. Oh boy. So yeah, he talk about being talented and gifted. Shout out to the rock star. I'll put his description to his because he does compilations as well as shorts, and all of them are just equally as hilarious. He has an endless amount of repertoire. I don't know how long he's been doing it, but I have yet to really go over unless I specifically pick out videos where I'm intentional about replaying them. I guess that must be my word for 2024 because I can't get away from that damn word intentional. But if it apply, I'm gonna let it fly. But he has so much material that you're gonna always come across something new, right? So I just thought I would share that. I love I see Audrey says yes. She subscribed to him. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe to him. I promise it's gonna bless your life. So I'm gonna drop the link. Last time I dropped the link, I didn't wait very long. I waited a few moments and then Miss Yo hit it as I was ending the live. So if anybody wants to come up, have anything to say, it doesn't even have to be on topic. You know, we can call this Silly Saturday. We can talk about anything. If you want to come up and tell a story, give a testimony, if something can bless somebody else's life, if you have something, it don't have to be funny. It can be anything. Definitely come up and hit the link. I promise we ain't gonna bite you. I promise. And yeah. So especially, and you know what, I want to make it comfortable and nice over here to have for an open panel where people can come up and just say what's on their heart or on their minds. We can joke, we can do all of that. It doesn't have to be on topic or be serious, you know, all the time. So I just wanted to extend that. And again, to the people that are sending the cash apps, thank you so very much. I appreciate you, and I'm gonna shout you out before I get up out of here. So yes, thank you. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you so much. All right, yes, okay. Listen, Shirley. Hey, Shirley, what's going on?
Hey, Mr. Keeman. Hey, Chad. How y'all doing this morning? I hope all is well.
Yes, it
You hear
is.
me?
Yes.
Look, this is so funny, Mr. Keeman. Look, you said the last time I came up, right? You ended the live. So I said, I'm going to fix her this time. I'm going to get on the backstage real quick.
I was looking too. I said, "Oh, I don't want to hang up on nobody. Let me just wait and commentate until I give somebody the opportunity."
You was dose. You hurry up and clicked off. You was like, all right, bye, y'all. Bye.
I was. It's like y'all ain't moving fast enough.
Right. You guys, I'm telling you, this is going to be a beautiful day. Y'all are going to see this. It's going to be a great day. Why? Because Mr. Keeman did this live speaking about energy and how you can use your energy. And everything she said was 100% true. You guys just don't know how powerful you guys are. You have the power to make it a great day every day because of your energy and the way you move with your energy. Okay? I just wanted to say that. Okay? Y'all heard me though? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Listen, you can repeat it. You know how to rephrase it. Go ahead, Miss Shirley and Laverne.
Okay, so let me break it down into syllables for you guys, okay? Go outside, make sure you're out in the elements. Because why? Even the sun, flower, trees, everything need the sun in order to grow, right? And if you notice a plant in the nighttime when there's no sun, it sleep, just like you are. But when that sun hit it, guess what? It come alive. So go outside and get alive. Let some sun hit that ass. Sorry to cuss. But let that sun get on you, okay? Let that sun kiss your face, and it's going to charge you. Just like you recharge a battery, it's going to charge you. And you're going to be, guess what? Glowing. And everybody's going to see your aura, your purple view or hue. You understand me? So get out and make something move. I'm telling you.
Make it move.
That's it. That's all. Because I'm going to make something move too. How about that?
Amen. Hey, what a great way to conclude this live. This live. That's I appreciate you.
And y'all better remember this too. Without energy or in life energy, you're deceased. You're not living.
Yes.
You're dead.
Thanks.
Right? So remember not to let nobody drain your energy. Recharge yourself at all costs, regardless of how you have to do it. Sometimes, like Mr. Kimi said, you can do different things, but take a nap if you need to. Whatever floats your boat and make you feel good and make you feel refreshed on the inside, do it. I mean, do it. Even a piece of fruit will make you feel good, like an orange or something.
Yeah.
That sugar charge, right? But that natural sugar charge,
Natural.
whatever it takes, right? And stay away from negative people, negative speaking people, negative moving people. Maybe they're not speaking, but they're moving snakish. Stay away from all of that. Clear your path, and go and hey, how to say, walk in peace. And that's what I'm gonna do.
That's it. Yes. Well, you have an awesome, wonderful day. I can tell that your day is starting out really strong and really powerful.
Oh yes, always. That's why I be so exhausted at night, because
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I be like, some of my favorite content creators be going late at night, and I be like, damn, I have to sit up at my desk and watch them and still be going to sleep.
Yeah, I was up late last night popping in different content creators. I was in Kwame's, I went in Double Speaks, I went in Polo. I've been popping all over the place. And I was like, okay, toothpicks holding my eyes up. Good night, y'all.
Yes, see, you outlasted me, man. I couldn't do it. I just, being Friday, and that's the thing, is like I go so hard during the week.
Yeah.
That by the time Friday hits, it's like people, they get that second win and they be trying to stay up and get prepared for the weekend. My body be like, listen, you gonna sit yourself down. You done pushed it all week. I don't care what you got going on.
Look, you see, your mind telling you yes, but your body telling you no.
No. All the way no. The hell no. That's what my body be saying. Hell no.
Yeah. It don't mean we don't love you. We love y'all, but I'm trying to tell you, sometimes y'all be a little too late for the old girl. When y'all be live, I get up, like I told you, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So I only have a couple hours of sleep if I stay up too late watching everybody. Right. So I have to, do my little thing, And when you get older, hey, it's like that. But I ain't mad. We just need little naps, and we be all right.
And that's why they got the replay button. I'm good, because it keeps me like, some days they don't, there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
There be lags, and then everybody want to come on pretty much, especially if there's content flowing through the sector or whatever. Yeah. But it's a great option. So, I just have to get better about putting it in the comments to let them know. Your girl, she was here, she replayed, and she hit the like button and then moved around,
Yeah, you understand. I feel the same way. I'm doing the same thing, Mr. Kimi. But look, I want to let you guys go because I'm here making something move, like I said, And I want to say to all the content creators out there that's on this so-called side, look, keep us uplifted, keep us upbeat with nice laughter and all kinds of stuff. Just make that good content and throw it out there, because we all need the positive energy. We need to be recharged. So make us laugh, okay? Let's do something. Let's do some nice stuff, okay? It's not about all the arguing and all that kind of stuff. That's dead. And when they say that's dead, it is dead. It
loses its effect after a while, and it's not entertainment anymore. It's like, okay, yeah, it's dragging on me a little bit, and then I have to take a break. I go back to it, but yeah, incorporating and mixing it up every now and then. That's why I like the thumbnail lady she's new on the scene with her page doing music and stuff. Music, a lot of the music that I listen to is very high vibrational. So whenever I feel like I'm starting to, drain a little bit, I'll just click on some music that I know is going to uplift me. And that's a really good way. I just wish YouTube was a little less stringent on the copyright thing so more of us can be able to participate on that. Because I think you got to know what you're doing in order to play that. And I ain't trying to mess up my page going through all
Yeah,
of
I
that.
think you're gonna have to know what you're doing. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you going. I mean, just do it and use it, like to keep you driving high, and and so you can move with that power that you have. That strong power, whatever you have,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to you guys later. And I was gonna say something else, but I forgot it. Miss Akima, I forget. It was something else I was gonna say, but it was on a positive note. But anyway, y'all get the message. I'm out of here. Mwah. Smooches, everybody.
All right.
Share and subscribe to Miss Akimi's page if you haven't already, and support that Cash App. Okay, she's not monetized yet. Scare her like y'all
Oh,
scared the Cash App ring.
you're so sweet. Thank you, babe. I appreciate you.
Everybody.
Okay,
Okay,
Miss
see you
Joe.
later. Okay, love
Bye.
you too, baby.
Oh, kick you out. Okay, kick you out. Let me out. My pleasure. Listen to my moderators. If you could, please drop Miss Yo's link into the chat. I forget to do that, but I want to definitely do that now. If multiple moderators put it in there, I'd like it in there a few times, kind of spam the chat with it. I appreciate it. And if you can, put Damn D's chat in there as well, or link. Let me see if you could also try to see who else is in here. Miss 504, put her link in the chat. And if anybody, Miss Joy, please put her link in the chat. And if there's anybody that's coming with a new page, new content, maybe I'm unaware of it, yeah, go ahead and put them in the chat. My people, definitely, we're here to push, promote, and uplift one another, and we all are in this together, right? So I'm grateful for y'all. And okay, so let's get to I want to get to the Cash Apps. Hold on, y'all. Ooh, I got my blinds open. It is so nice out here today. I can't wait to get outside. All right, we got Miss Audrey. Thank you so much. Oh, yes, I appreciate you, beautiful. Nope, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I appreciate you. Thank you for all of your continued support. You're always to everybody that comes into and has support that supports through just by being in the chat, by being a subscriber, by just being present, engaging in the chat, having some feedback off of the commentary, off of the topic. Let me just take a moment to say that, and I want to reiterate this because I know I've said it before. The thumbnail link, let's see. Hold on a second, y'all. No, I can't multitask. I'll copy and paste it. Hold on. There we go.
Yo.
Oh, no, that ain't it. Hold on. That was the wrong one. I guess it would help if I looked at the name instead of the picture. I guess y'all having a hard time finding it too. And she doesn't have anything scheduled. I'm gonna get it, and then I'll get it for the next live because I don't see it. I know she's in here, but I see topics. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Thank you, Strawberry. I appreciate bringing it to my attention because I don't see her, and I'll have to go looking for her next time she schedules a live. I don't know if she's going to go live today or not, but I would definitely save it and put it in my word. But yes, so do we have do we have any links that are dropped in here as of this point? Any of my mods are able to get people like Miss Yo, Miss Joy Joy? Can you drop your link in the chat? We can focus on the ones that we do have access to. I know I got damn D's, but I think we all, or at least most of us. Hey Bolo, what's going on with you babes? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Yeah, because I think we can put Damn D's new page. His most one, the one he just got monetized on. Okay, so that's Damn D's. Bolo, drop your link in the chat, please, to both of your pages, if you will. And did somebody get Miss Yo's? All right, if not, then I'll go ahead and drop it. If you haven't subscribed, please go do so. She's got Miss Yo. Also, she just got so much valuable information. I done started planting. And she inspired me, even though other people inspired me as well. She, for some reason, she was the one to kind of get me off my tailbone to actually make it active. So shout out to all of my content creators that are putting in the work, that are sharing information with others, and that, you know, they're giving and sharing part of who they are with people. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Bolo. And so, yeah, I think we pretty much, now I will say this. So there was a video I watched, and I'm not going to play it because it was a very short video. I would rather just list off. I was looking for other people's perspective of particularly content creators on some of the things that lower the energy level, or that you can be affected. Your energy level can be negatively affected. And I just want to go through this list real quick. And whatever you can take off of it, some of them you're going to know, you're going to be aware of, and some of them you may not be. So there's 21. I got 20. So 20 of this particular content creator. And I'll also drop his link to his little short video in the description after the live is over as well. Thank you, Joy Joy. I appreciate you. It's in the chat. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And so I'm just going to go down the list really quick. I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. And then while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and just, if the last ditch effort, if anybody wants to hit the link, if not, we'll go ahead and just shut this thing down and move on around. Right. So I see you, Kevin Ellis. Look, we keeping our vibrational levels high. Ain't no jealousy up in here. I would say what I told Andre last time, but he said he don't share. So I'm digress. I'm not going to say that no more. So listen, okay. The first one is negativity. Second one is bad posture. Now that can be classified as figuratively or physically, because that posture physically, me getting older, I had my son tell me, he said, Mom, what's going on with your posture? I was like, yo, you're right. It was so subtle and so gradual that I had no idea that it was really starting to be affected. So now, like when I drive, when I sit, I try to sit straight up. That really, and it tells a lot about your disposition. It tells a lot about you as a person. It speaks loudly to someone that is paying attention to that part of you. So I just wanted to mention that. And I thought that was a really good one that he put out there that I haven't heard, right? Not drinking enough water. Listen, carbonated waters, sodas, juices, the little syrup drinks at the restaurants and stuff with the fountain drinks and all of that is not the same as water, especially if you're doing outdoor activities and you're going outside. Well, I take that back. Not especially, in addition to, is what I will say. Water is extremely important. It is necessary for life. It is the source of life. We can live without a lot of things, but air and water, those two things, we can even live longer without food. But water is the quickest way to check up out of here if you don't have it, right? So definitely, I agree with that. I get headaches when my body will let me know immediately. My head start to hurt, I down a big bottle of water, right? So I definitely agree with that. And it definitely also, because our bodies are made largely of water, how do you think the energy flows? Since we're talking about energy today, that's the topic. That water circulates also helps the body emit and receive energy on a easier level as well. What's up, RJ? What's going on with you? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Cortez, don't start. Don't fly him out, Cortez. We good. Look at Cortez that popped up in the chat. Hey, Cortez. Look, you got to watch the replay, because I think that this will really benefit everybody within, that is within ear and eye shot of. There's got to be something in here that y'all can take away from. But I love Cortez's energy. And I think definitely you will be able to relate to the topic of conversation. So I'm going down the list of some things that can deplete your energy, take your energy away, or lower the level, right? And so we talked about negativity, bad posture, not drinking enough water, lack of direction and priorities, right? Lack of direction. You got to have purpose when you wake up in the morning. You got to be able to know what direction your day, or have a direction of your day that is going to go in. We got 24 hours a day. I know I don't sleep 8 hours a day, but even if I did, that still left me 16 hours of being awake. And that's a lot of time when you don't have purpose and when you're lacking priorities or vision, right? So lack of deep breathing, that's important. That is super important. You got to do breathing exercises. That's why I think it links with exercise. Exercising makes you breathe. It makes you dig down into the lower part of the lungs in order to draw breath, where when we're not active, we're just shallow breathing, right? So that is important. Sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. As much as we like to indulge and they give us immediate, gratification, or it serves a purpose short term, immediately, for the most part, you got to do that in moderation, because if you don't, it will definitely lower your vibration and your energy long term, right? So let's see, not taking a break. So we were talking about social media. We were talking about just using that as an example. Things that everything in moderation, everything in balance, nothing too much of anything is not good for you. So if you're on the borderline of being addicted to something, be mindful and be intentional about, kind of backing off from it, gradually decompressing if it's not in a danger zone, and replacing that with something positive and something productive. I always feel like when my day is productive, I feel better at the end of the day. I feel more accomplished. I sleep more sound. That's just me, but these things definitely are connected and they correlate with one another. Another one that we talked about is taking things personally that are not personal, making things about you that aren't about you at the end of the day. Even if they're directed at you, a lot of the things that are directed at us comes from different places that have nothing to do with us, right? Social media, the news, worrying about things you can't control. We touched on that as well. And certain things we shouldn't be wanting to control, especially if we can't control it, because now you done set yourself up to be frustrated, to possibly become angry, to lower your vibration, to lower your level of energy. Too much sleep. I thought that was interesting. I think, like I said, too much of anything I think is detrimental, but then you could kind of flip that same side of that coin and say not enough sleep. I don't really get too much sleep ever, but not enough sleep, if I'm really sleep deprived, it definitely affects me. It affects me. But I've learned at this stage of the game, for me, I shut it down. Turn off the ringer, power down the computers, and I lay my butt down and quiet and I rest until I don't need it anymore. And then I get up and continue and proceed with my day, right? Poor eating habits. You are what you eat, period. I'm not going to even go down that rabbit hole. All I'm saying is you are what you eat. Like Miss Yo was saying earlier, fresh fruit. It can definitely, and it does. It provides what they call H3O2, where water only is H2O, right? So when you eat fruits, it's the and vegetable. Well, particularly, let's just state with fruits for the sake of scientific data, that it provides natural sugar, and it's largely percentage of mass is water. So you're getting it along with the vitamins and the minerals that that particular fruit provides. So it's not, you're just not hydrating the body, but you're also feeding the body. And you can juice those fruits with some vegetables, ginger, turmeric. Those are vegetables that actually give your body energy. So if you raise your vibrational energy physically, then it will manifest and transcend into other portions of your being, right? So complaining, that's a big one, because it's easy to complain. It's easy to whine about things that are not, are not going our way, that are not good, to find something to gripe about. I have to be mindful of that. There are certain times, especially when I'm sleep deprived or I'm hungry or hangry, where I will start to complain. And so again, these things are interconnected and they're interrelated, right? Fear and anxiety. That's a big one for me too. We live in a fear-stimulated society. That's what keeps the people that are in power, is keeping the masses in fear. And being anxious goes along with that fear. So these are things that I think we're pretty much aware of that, but just kind of reiterating it and putting it out there for food for thought. Lack or too much exercise. Again, that word balance, right? That word balance and equilibrium comes to mind, where you just you do everything in moderation. And the Bible tells you that you're moderate when it comes to balancing everything in your life. So, some people, like I was saying earlier, if they're not exercising 6-7 days a week, you got to give your body a chance to rest, especially when you're pushing it so hard and pushing it to its limits on a day-to-day basis. When does it get a chance to recuperate? And then in addition to that, if you're not getting enough sleep, or you're not getting to that REM sleep, that REM level of rest, and you're working out so fervently and so regularly, and you're pushing your bodies to its capacity, now you're opening yourself for potential injuries that you may not be able to heal in a short amount of time or ever. So definitely with that, lack of exercise, we all know that stuff will sit on you if you don't have some type of activity. It's a breeding ground. Your body becomes a breeding ground for illnesses and health issues if you're not active to a certain degree. In moderation, once more, okay? Perfectionism, that's applicable to me, and that can stimulate anxiety when you have that spirit of perfectionism. We are not perfect people. We are not perfect people. So we're not going to exhibit perfection on a day-to-day basis, right? So with that being said, blowing things out of proportion is the last one that I've got written down. And that's making a mountain out of a molehill. Just magnifying, making, shit what it ain't, basically. Concerning ourselves with things that really don't matter at the end of the day. That doesn't affect our everyday activities, life, long-term or short, if you really want to look at it in its proper context. So with that being said, again, hey Trina, what we doing? Yes, Cortez, the perfectionist. I'm telling you, I think a lot of us kind of have high expectations of ourselves, and then when we fall short, it tends to negate the effort, the accomplishment. You minimize it, you don't acknowledge it, you don't give it its proper just due, and then it can affect your self-esteem as well, because you're always feeling like you're falling short from your personal expectation of yourself and your abilities, right? So again, I'm going to just closing thoughts. I'm going to be doing a giveaway once I reach 500 subs, and to show my appreciation for all of the support, for all of the participation, for all of the love, for all of the financial support and blessings that those that are able to give and willing to give do. I'm truly, truly grateful, truly appreciative. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it's not minimized at all. So if you're just coming in, please go watch the replay. It will benefit you. Try to, do lives that have purpose, that educate to some degree. I can't educate everybody, but I could definitely make a difference with somebody, and that I'm good with that, right? So I hope everyone gets to enjoy their day. It's early enough, y'all. It's not even on California. We're looking at 7 something, almost 8 o'clock. So you got the whole day. Use it wisely. Utilize your time wisely. If things are not serving you, move around. If somebody's draining your energy, depart with love and then move around. If you are not in a good space, do what you need to do in order to raise your own level of vibration. So when you move around, you're not draining somebody else's energy, right? So with that being said, I don't want to belabor the topic too much more. I think I've been we've been on here almost 2 hours, and I've been talking for a majority of that time. So definitely, I appreciate everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you to everybody, all of my mods, my subs, my new subs, the people that have blessed financially. And with that, I'm actually going to do my outro today, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed. Peace and blessings. And I'm out.